Baldur's Gate 3 is one of my favorite RPGs of all time, and I don't have that many bad things to say about it. However, there were a few quests in the game which really set me off. In this video, we're going to explore the worst quests in Baldur's Gate 3, so buckle up, grab some iced coffee, and let's dive into the world of Faerun. This video is sponsored by Omni Heroes, a heroic fantasy casual strategy RPG that is recommended on Google Play and Apple App Store. You are the Omni Guardian, and your task is to rescue captive Valkyries from evil demons and band together to vanquish enemies threatening the world. Players can summon over 100 exquisitely designed heroes, unlock multiple synergies, and match hundreds of team comps at will. My personal favorite is the ethereal Valkyrie Dorabella. Omni Heroes offers both casual and relaxed gameplay for those who want to unwind, while also providing enough depth and exploration for players who enjoy strategic challenges. With a whopping 17 unique synergies and over 100 team comps, you're the mastermind behind powerful battle buffs. If you're tired, treat yourself to rest and let the automated mechanics take over. With the nifty quick battle feature, you can even skip battles effortlessly, then drop in whenever you like to claim the rewards they've earned for you. Omni Heroes is gearing up for an exciting seasonal event called Ashen Phantom starting on November 17th. Get ready for an electrifying experience with a captivating new storyline and roguelike deck builder new gameplay. If you haven't already downloaded the game, now is the perfect time to do so. Click on the link in the description to download Omni Heroes and claim 777 free summons, welcoming 5 legendary heroes into your roster within the first week. I want to start off by saying that the worst quests in Baldur's Gate 3 still stand above a lot of content in other RPGs. And the quests I'm going to talk about today aren't bad per se, just not as fun as the rest of the content in this game. So now that the disclaimer is out of the way, the first quest I want to talk about is Save the Gondians, which we embark on during Act 3. The little gnomish engineers are responsible for the construction of Gortash's steel watch, but there's a twist. The Gondians are not exactly undertaking this work voluntarily, since the Baenites have enslaved them, put explosive collars around their necks, and kidnapped their families to get them to comply with Gortash's plans. Now, if you played this quest, you might be thinking that I'm going to complain about the submarine rescue part of the mission, but I actually really liked that part. The turn limit made this encounter really intense, and every single move mattered. I was chugging speed potions, spamming Dimension Door and Misty Step, just doing everything in my power to rescue as many people as possible, including Will's father. This is not the part that irritated me. Things actually go sideways once you return to the Steel Watch factory. Upon entering the main room, you'll trigger a cutscene which shows the Gondians rising up against their Baenite oppressors. And if you want to save the Gondians, you better jump into the fight quickly, unless you want to watch them all get wrecked. Keeping all the Gondians alive on the top floor is relatively simple. You mainly have to keep an eye out for any guards that trigger the Prinsky's Motivator prisms. If you don't deactivate the prism before it shows up in the turn queue, then every Gondian will be instantly killed. And unfortunately, you can only deactivate them with one of your main 4 party members. Animal companions and summons can't interact with these objects. But it's still reasonable to rescue all the Gondians on the top floor, including Toobin, who will help us bring an end to the Steel Watch. So far, so good. The problems really start on the next floor. Toobin will accompany you to the heart of the foundry. When we enter the lower level, we'll discover 3 groups of Gondians engaged in combat with the Baenites and 2 Steel Watchers. Now, I have run through this encounter half a dozen times, and I genuinely think it's impossible to save all the Gondians on this floor. Okay, maybe impossible is an exaggeration, but it's quite ridiculous. Keeping Toobin alive is not too difficult because we have direct control over his actions, but the rest of the Gondians? It's so over, bro.
Fight, my fellow Gondians! Take back your freedom!
Let's walk through all the problems we're juggling with this encounter. For starters, the Gondians are extremely underpowered compared to the enemies. The Gondians are all level 8, with super basic abilities like Acid Splash and Grease. Their lightning abilities are decent if they use them. Meanwhile, the Baenites are all level 10 or 11, and they can cast incredibly powerful abilities such as Blight, Aura of Terror, and Spirit Guardians. In some cases, the Baenites can one-shot a Gondian in a single turn of combat. Second, we have a pair of incredibly dangerous Hellfire Steel Watchers. These guys do a ton of damage. Plus, they can immobilize targets with their sword attacks if they proc a maim debuff. If one of your team members gets hit with this, then you have less available characters to deactivate the Prinsky motivators. And if the Gondians get maimed, you can pretty much kiss them goodbye. But even if you do manage to take down the Steel Watchers without getting maimed, then they'll just activate their self-destruct protocol. And those dumb Gondians don't have enough self-preservation instinct to walk outside the blast radius. The main issue with this entire fight is the absolutely brain-dead AI of the Gondians. They will literally try to fist-fight Steel Watchers, splash acid onto themselves, and do nothing to get out of immediate danger. Even if you try to babysit them by teleporting them away with Dimension Door or something like that, these dumb motherfuckers are just gonna get themselves killed. This one Gondian chick misty-stepped into the rafters and attacked from above. And I was like, great, that's the right strat. But then, on her next turns, she misty-stepped back down to the ground, moved into melee range with a Steel Watcher, got maimed, and I had to use Dimension Door with Gale to bail her ass out. I saw a hilarious comment on Reddit about this fight that said, "Don't try to save them, they're too stupid." At this point, it's straight up Darwinism. Now you might be thinking, why do you care about saving some nameless Gondian workers? It's not like they have an impact on the plot or anything. And sure, that's true, but it's really about the principle of the matter. There are plenty of other scenarios in this game where you can save unimportant NPCs from near certain death, and it's actually pretty damn satisfying to pull it off. You can save all the Harpers from the Shadow Curse at the beginning of Act 2, and if you do, you get a cool little cutscene where they bury Jonas at Last Light Inn. You can save all the civilians outside the Emerald Grove when you first arrive. You can save a ton of tieflings and gnomes throughout the course of the game, but these Gondians on the second floor are pretty much doomed. But even after we've dealt with all that, we're still not done because Toobin warns us about a Giga Steel Watcher that is at the heart of the Foundry. And this motherfucker won't give us the command codes until we kill the boss. It's like, bro, just give me the password and let me sneak up there and punch it into the console. Why do I gotta risk my life on the Giga Watcher when we're just gonna blow up the whole facility anyway? At this point, I just wanted to bash his skull in and take the codes. Hilariously, if Toobin dies, you can completely bypass the boss fight. But if Toobin's alive, then the fight is mandatory to proceed. I swear, I hated this motherfucker by the end of the quest. Wolbrin was right, dude.
Toobin will lie, torment, and scheme until his dying breath.
Also, I'm pretty sure this dude is faking being blind. I saw him lift his head up, and I swear I could see his eyes under the cloth. Hey, what kind of scam you trying to pull, man? Also, the dialogue is bugged at the end of the quest. Toobin will talk about mourning his daughter, even if you saved her from the submarine.
I just wish to go home and mourn my daughter in peace.
I can't thank you enough. I was certain that place was to be my cold, wet tomb.
I just wish to go home and mourn my daughter in peace.
The next annoying quest is also from Act 3. It's the haunted house mission called Free the Artist, which initially starts in Act 1 when you free Oscar from the Zentrum hideout in Joaquin's Rest. Story-wise, I actually like this quest, but it's incredibly annoying from a gameplay perspective. After entering the estate, speaking with Lady Janeth, and KOing Oscar, you need to proceed to the top floor to investigate the artist's studio. Only problem is the house is filled with poltergeists and cursed skulls who will repeatedly knock you down the stairs. I've played this quest twice now, and I'm still not sure what the player is expected to do to deal with all the skulls. You can try killing them with fireballs or force damage, but then you have the problem of the poltergeists, who will sometimes remain completely invisible, take no actions, and keep you trapped in combat without knowing where the enemies are. I watched a few other YouTubers and streamers to see how they dealt with this quest.
The worst encounter in the entire game is in a haunted house. You end up fighting 30 ghosts in magical skulls that can curse your character and stun them and deal damage every turn. It was the longest fight probably in the entire game at like over 40 minutes because we actually had to seek out where some of these ghosts were. They were hiding in like every room. It was dog shit.
Another channel who made a quest guide ended up using like 4 Dimension Door scrolls to teleport past the skulls. I tried using Misty Step instead, but I still got knocked back. There's also a balcony entrance if you explore outside the mansion, but I had no luck with that either because I was still getting knocked down the stairs. I eventually managed to run upstairs with Minsk, who somehow resisted the Skull Thunderwave attacks for reasons I still don't understand. But holy shit, this encounter was annoying. After getting upstairs, you're thrown into another wild goose chase, where you have to track down a Lich Medium and obtain a special torch so you can remove the curse from the painting. And after you finish up with all that, you reach the climax, which was pretty interesting. So let's say you save the artist in the end. What is your reward for all this trouble? Well, he paints your portrait, and in my playthrough, the portrait wasn't of my character, but Gale. What the hell, dude? So there you have it, the worst quests in Baldur's Gate 3. Were there any quests you didn't enjoy in this game? Let me know in the comments section below. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe to Big Dan Gaming for more BG3 and RPG videos. Big shout out to all the channel members for supporting my content. Until next time, this has been Big Dan. I should go.